going, bro. We hopped up on that bus. It's chill, hiding, Raji. Glad you came to whip with us. Got no GPS or telling what we gon' discuss. Shout out Thompson Farms, they got the melon.
Good morning and welcome to another episode of the Big Ugly Sports Show, brought to you by Premier Properties of Dublin. We are your first source for mediocre sports coverage. Super excited that you're joining with us this morning, man. We've got a lot to talk about. Big night, Monday night we had. We're going to recap that. A lot going on in the life of Big Ugly Sports. My name is Chill. Let's bring on the rest of the guys that are in here with us. Sitting to my right, he is a UGA graduate and a diehard dog. He can make a bottle of mouthwash stank. He's a Sour Patch Kid. You gotta love him. He's the pride of Buddy Johnson Road, the one and only Adam Hightower. What's good, Height?
What's up? Turn my mic on. You going? Okay, so now mic's on. Hey, good to be here. Happy to be back.
Sitting to his right, he's bigger than the average man. He's a Seminole for life. Got a gullet that can store food for days at a time. Diaper needs changing daily. He's got a tick like Slice and napkins for hands. He's big. He's sloppy. He's Big Raji.
What's up, guys?
My boy.
Oh, yeah.
And then sitting across from him, he had a cup of coffee in the Marines. He loves to talk over people and not listen to what you're saying. He's sensitive as they come. He is the scum of Dexter, Georgia, Mitch, the Bus Lawhorn.
Good morning.
What
We got to find him an intro.
What happened to Mama Tried?
Well, you know, we got all these.
Did we get in trouble again?
Well, we've been getting in trouble with copyright issues, so we got to.
Do you think that Mitch was like born in the pond of Dexter?
Marine Corps him.
Probably at Malone's Lake or whatever it is over there.
These clowns know nothing about the community pond and Dexter. They know nothing.
I thought you were going to say we know nothing about the Marines.
He wants the Marine Corps anthem as his.
Y'all ever seen like
it's not anthem.
It's a five-year minimum to get that.
Well, yeah, if you've been dishonorable discharged, you don't get to use the anthem.
Have you ever seen Lord of the Rings?
And it's a 5 years minimum service.
So you like when the orcs are coming out of the mud and they're coming out? That's what Longhorn looks like coming out of the pond in Dexter.
I got stop loss. The
Urukai?
The Orca.
Yeah.
He's the Michikai. Coming out of the pond in Dexter.
Listen now, y'all stop.
Hey, this clown's from Cochran.
He,
I want to act like he's from Dexter. We allow him to live in Dexter.
He wishes he was from Dexter, don't he?
And I think we put him outside the city limits. We wouldn't even let him live in the city limits.
That's right.
That might have bumped him in.
You got some East Side moving in soon to Dexter.
Who?
Me.
The pride of Buddy Johnson.
That's not Dexter. You're as close to Rents as you are Dexter. It is a Dexter address, though.
Thank you. I was about to say Dexter address.
I don't know.
You think Green Acres ever had anybody like you over there?
I know who lived there.
There can't be many East Dublin folks up in there.
I don't think
they've never had a superstar movie.
The legend Corey Hobbs, my boy, and my douchebag brother. Both of them. And you got the Bazemores.
I love the Bazemores.
The Bazemores, good people.
You got Danny Johnson, the GOAT.
Yes, Danny Johnson, the GOAT. There's some good people. That's a good community.
Yeah, I'm excited.
How long? How long? Hype?
3 months.
So is your golf game just going to go? I'm telling you, it's going to go out though.
I give
it can't be that much.
You're going to play like every other day.
Oh yeah,
that's the plan.
Listen,
I think it'll be like that at the beginning, and then it'll slow down.
Hole 4 is probably.
We'll see. I mean, when you move out there, you get to decide how you're going to do it. I'll do it how I want to do it.
I ain't trying to say nothing. I don't know.
Hole 4 is a straight. You know, the hole 4. It's a par 5. It's probably what? How long was that hole? Probably upper 400s.
Yeah, uppers.
He's driving the green from the tips.
I give it 2 months, and he's on the green. I'm not going to say drive because that's a stretch, and we don't stretch stuff on here like that.
We never have.
No,
I'll say consistently in 2. I'll say consistently he's putting for eagle just off of sheer power.
That's fair.
I say hole 4 is going to cause him to get in a lot of trouble because they're going to be hitting a lot of balls in his yard, and he's going to get very upset about it.
No, sir. One thing I know about height.
When them people start driving them golf carts up in that yard.
Well, that's where the problem lies. And I was there yesterday checking on some things.
My brother's the same way.
I don't understand why people are not smart enough to say, I'll just walk over in these people's yard and get the ball. I'm not going to drive my golf cart.
Do they really drive their carts?
Yeah, just yesterday they were driving in my yard.
Well, it's a lack of respect for you, I think.
It's a personal attack.
Well, they don't know he's there. We need to put his picture in the yard.
Don't drive over the top of Jamie's sprinkler heads and break his sprinkler. You talking about when he first moved out here? That he would sit out here, he'd get irate about it.
Yeah.
Well, I think all it takes is one time for somebody to see you, and it's like it's kind of like an ogre sighting. But you're not an ogre. But it's like they look at you and they're like, okay, we're not going to go in this guy's yard because we're scared.
Intimidation factor.
But the thing is like the more Jamie fussed about it, the worse it's going to be. Because then like all his friends know he's fussing about it. So anytime we're playing, we're definitely driving in his yard.
Do we just need to start like aiming
just on
at Hot's
purpose?
house?
Well, if I know you the way I do, if you aim at my house, you'll probably won't hit towards my house. You'll go somewhere else. So aim at my house all you want.
I got my slice. But off the tee box, how close is your house to the road, rather?
I mean, it's
hittable.
It's directly.
I can say for certain I've landed in that yard before.
I've definitely have landed in that yard.
It's harder to hit my house than you would think.
Right, like getting it in Jamie's yard, it almost has to hit the road and then go in his yard. Because
there's only 2 or 3. No, they've only got 4 tee boxes over there, and if you're playing the tips, you're probably not going to hit the house.
Right.
On a positive note,
like mansion though.
On a positive note, your golf ball game is fitting to.
Yes, I was thinking I'm going to keep me a 5-gallon bucket and just collect golf balls.
Just be sitting out there when somebody hits it out there, just go snag it before they get down there and they just.
But you know the problem, most of the raggedy golf balls end up in the yard. Or good players are not hitting their pro.
But people like me hitting that Wilson over there.
Yeah, there've been a lot of noodles.
Dude,
Wilson, some nitros.
That's a way that like Brooks could start making money, like just getting golf balls and then sell them. Like,
yeah, he's an entrepreneur. He already told me he wanted to open a lemonade stand.
Oh, gonna have some tough competition with ice cream stand there too.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're gonna
work together.
We're friends. Yeah, we work together.
We'll lemonade and ice cream together.
Originally, when they built that back nine,
here we go.
That lot behind Jamie's, you know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah,
they're originally going to put the clubhouse over there.
That's true. Now I know
you can validate that.
I can validate that.
No, a lot of stuff you say is not true now.
Oh Jesus!
Don't do that.
That UDBs.
Just like
I
you
can't
said,
say the word I want to say, but UDBs. I'm telling you. I didn't sleep very well last night. I'm very likely to take his headset off.
Just like off there a while ago, you said with certainty that Spencer Strider came in and closed the All-Star game last night.
No.
Yeah.
Well, you did say that.
I did say that. I did say that. And then I said I did not sleep very well. I may have dreamed it because I was irate.
You only had dreamed it. You only dreamt it after I corrected you on it.
See, here's the thing. I'm wrong sometimes. And when I'm wrong, because Hightower likes to fact check me, so when I'm wrong, I admit I was wrong. I was wrong.
You've been wrong several times this morning because then you.
No, that's the only thing I was wrong about.
No, then you took it next level when we said Craig Kimbrell closed, and you said he played for the American League.
No, I thought he did.
He did say that. He did say that. But look, he just admitted
he was
Kimbrell.
See, and this was because he was a Braves guy, and maybe that's what led me to dream that.
Good gracious, he's doing everything he can around to piece that.
Me and Haley got in a big fuss about it not fuss. We got in a discussion about. I was angry because the Phillies coach, because I can't stand the Phillies. The Phillies coach didn't start Strider, and then I just read a while ago he couldn't start because he started Saturday.
But I appreciate you sticking up for our guys, Braves guys.
Of course I am.
Yeah,
of course he is.
Why wouldn't I?
I didn't say you would. I just said I appreciate that.
Just say thank you, dude.
He's all out of sorts this morning.
Sensitive law this morning.
I am.
All right,
UDBs are getting on my nerves.
Man, we're going to talk a little bit about on Monday night. We had our first ever. We went to the Toombs County area down there at Hardware Pizza. Again, shout out to Cameron Panic and the gang down there for allowing us to come in and do our first ever high school preseason coaches show for that area. And we were able to interview coaches from Vidalia Heritage, Pinewood, Tatnall, Robert Toombs, Vidalia, and Toombs County. Their coaches were able to come, and great crowd, man, great atmosphere. Had the Axe of Valor back there throwing axes, and we were able to do all that, man. It was just an absolute blast. So just kind of tell the people, guys, what you thought about that experience.
Well, I just want to tip my cap. Cameron Panic, Hardware Pizza, and the owner was named Wes Wilkes. Yeah. Man, they rolled out the red carpet.
Is there a better venue to do something?
No, there's not.
I'm telling you what. I've never been to Hardware Pizza.
You'll be back.
It's awesome.
You'll be back.
I told Ellie, I said, we're going to go on a date night. We're going to go to Lions.
And I've never. Mammy.
Who wants to ever go to Lions for anything?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
There's plenty of good things in line.
I like to pick that Chuck. Just a murder capital of the world is what it is.
Well, we take everything seriously down there.
Everybody wears black forces that walks around town.
Dangerous.
Hey, Raji said he takes me on a tour. But we had to go to a bus drivers meeting down there. He takes me on a tour of lines, which it wasn't long. But we went to his parents' house, and then he's right. He said, my granddad was the sheriff. The sheriff's department's named after him, or the jail was named after him.
Still is.
So,
how much did you really care?
Every other place we went by, he said, yeah, a woman got beat to death in that parking lot right there. So-and-so got shot over there.
Come on now. We can't be talking about lines like that.
I said, what?
He don't, man. He just don't. He ain't got that blood in his blood.
He ain't got blood in his blood. But anyway, circling back.
You would think Hightower is from Toombs County.
Some have said.
He knew like everybody in there. That was crazy. That was nuts to me.
I appreciate you.
Because other than the 2 Lawrence County people that went, I didn't know that.
Shout out AJ and Chwala Mathis.
Give
them some love.
AJ Mathis and Miss Mathis, and just
making a trip.
I was thinking about it yesterday, and it just touches my heart that AJ.
If I get fired, AJ needs to take my spot. I feel like.
Yeah, that's for sure.
If I ever get
could
fired,
happen anyways, but
I may quit if you DBs keep acting the way.
But the food was fantastic.
Amazing.
The atmosphere was great.
That little appetizer thing that you got.
It started. I thought it was going to be slow. It started slow. There wasn't many people in there, but it filled up in a hurry.
I really think we had, and just based on people I knew that had kind of shared on Facebook, I think we were north of 100 people that came.
Oh yeah,
because we were there.
Yeah, and there were some in and outs too. So I was telling somebody I thought we were close to 200 people over the whole.
I think when we were doing the Axis of Battle thing, the manager I think said that we pretty much made their money for the week.
Yeah, because Monday's normally
weekend,
slow.
It's like he said their whole week is pretty slow, except like Fridays and Saturdays.
Yeah.
So,
but anyway,
that's just what happens when a bus rolls in.
I like.
We got some rabbit trails here.
Even when the coaches left, they stuck around. Like even their fans stuck around to hear what the other coaches had.
Yeah, that was cool.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Probably some insider scouting going on.
Oh yeah.
So maybe we can come back towards the end of the season, maybe halfway point or end of the season.
We're gonna do a game.
We had some recommend we come every Thursday night, and just logistically, young kids.
I can't commit to that.
Sounds like a blast, but
I would be homeless.
Yeah, it'd be hard, but
or the door would be locked when I get home at night.
And if you haven't seen it, make sure you go check out on our Facebook page. There's a real viral sensation right now on the Big Ugly Sports Facebook page where Raji just in the championship round after Law eliminated me and Raji took down Height took down the lowest score for the evening in the axe throwing competition.
Which was really surprising. I think that it's because...
It's only surprising
that's not a strength game.
Because you...
Yeah. Well, I think it's... He threw it so hard so many times that it would never stick.
Speaking of throwing hard, the first throw he threw, do you remember that? When he one-handed and it just about broke the axe in half, and I could see the guy where he was not proud of that because he's thinking this is how stuff tears up.
Neither one of these clowns listened to this.
No, I
did.
He did. You threw it one hand too, didn't you?
Mm-mm.
He said after I started fussing at Raji about how he was throwing, and Raji got real mad even though he didn't listen to anything. The guy said, "Okay, you can throw with one hand, but here's what you need to do."
Right. Didn't you change it up?
I did because
I tell you what I did.
That's why
one-handed.
I was going to dominate Raji because didn't about half of his ever stick.
The first one he threw.
That first.
How far are we away from him? 12 feet?
10, 12 feet. Yeah.
The first one he threw, the axe ended up about 4 foot from him after it hit the wall and carried on
this
back.
mug had flip flops on, so I was waiting for him.
That was against the rules.
When them little wiggies get chipped
well,
off.
That's
right
what
there.
it's kind of like quarterback. If I'm throwing a slant route, forget your head on a swivel, dog.
I feel you. So just walk us through. He's down in the championship round, 15-8. If you hadn't heard it, Law yells it in the camera on Facebook. I mean, just screams the score. So.
I have something to add to this when he tells us.
So a bullseye is only 6, which would have given Raj 14, but there are 2 small blue dots in the upper left and upper right, which are worth more points, and you have to call your shot. And without hesitation, Raji calls his shot. I've got the GoPro rolling. I ask him how he feels. He's as confident as he can. And then I just happen to listen to the video of him throw. And as he steps to throw, he says game time. It sticks it right in the little blue hole that he called.
I don't know why you guys are surprised.
I don't know if you recorded the whole thing, because he done called the little blue thing before. The time before that.
Listen,
don't do that.
Don't do that.
That's a sore loser.
We're not about to.
That's a bad look for you.
And we changed the rules at the end. He was supposed to go first of all.
But you know
that's what somebody that
you can even hear in the video. You can hear Chuck say, "Well, you need to
make it fun." Yeah,
well, I was upset. It was my first time ever playing. I had dominated you first of all in the first game.
Barely
dominate. I've never seen anybody try to tear another man down the way you're trying.
We're not
to tear
about that on the bus. We don't tear each other down.
We lift each other up, Law.
We never give each other a hard time.
I don't feel like that's the truth. I don't feel like that's the truth at all.
But
go ahead.
Raji had the best, most athletic. Like everything went right for him.
Is it the best moment of his life?
Well, you combine that with him.
The wing eating
he won the wing eating contest.
What a night!
Boat race.
He had a great night.
I think we each had 10 wings. I think I had 2 whole wings left when he was done.
I had about 5.
And he had wing sauce all over his face while he's.
That is not true.
That is true. And then did for sure. And then I don't know if y'all noticed, he wipes his face and it's still on the side. It's like glistening on his cheeks.
It looked like war paint. It's really what it looked like.
I was trying to save it for later.
He was locking in for the axe throw.
But I mean, the guy wins a wing eating contest and then wins the axe throw contest on if
that's the best I've ever done, I've had a terrible sad life.
I don't know. That's pretty high.
I think so.
I love your dad's commentary. When you gonna post the wing eating contest?
I got to pull that off camera. I forgot all about it. I can post a reel of that too.
Your dad scrolls down there to me, and I'm just enjoying my wings. I didn't care about winning that thing, so I'm like just.
What's the purpose of being in a competition if you're not trying to win?
Them wings are good, ain't it? He said, Law ain't in it to win it. He is not in it to win it. His commentary and that thing was good.
I locked in through my first 3 wings, and I felt like I was I was probably losing, but I felt like I was shredding them, and then I realized I hadn't even swallowed any. Like, it's just all in my mouth. So then I had to start chewing up, swallowing, and then by the time I looked up both of those, I said, well, I might as well just enjoy these last ones.
He had eat 3 before. I looked down there at Roger, he'd eat 3 before I finished my first one, so I was not even trying to compete.
I didn't eat all day, dude. I was like 7
Plus he had 20. Then he had 20 more on the way home.
I had 18 on the way home.
How about them?
Who had a 30-piece?
Them pizza rolls I got, them appetizers.
Yeah, I wanted one of those. I didn't get it.
I sent you a box.
Well,
he was supposed to share with you.
Well, I didn't want to eat while we were interviewing the guy.
Yeah.
But anyway, I had a good time. Those coaches, they seem to have had a good time, and I'm excited for all those football programs, and I hope that they all end up having successful seasons. So.
And I misspoke. I need to go ahead and fix this now, just in case any of my West Orange people hear it. I didn't realize at the time, I wasn't thinking that West plays Vidalia. Because I said there's only one game I'm pulling against you, Coach, and that would be the Toombs game. And then my dad was like Pinewood, and I was like, and Pinewood. So there's actually 3 games I'm pulling against Vidalia. Let me throw my Raiders in there.
I looked at out of all the schedules I looked at, I believe Vidalia's got the toughest. All the teams that
and I will say that.
Got a tough.
So obviously, I want Toombs to beat Vidalia, then West to beat Vidalia, and because Kev's at Pinewood. Well, and just because I got that Toombs in me, I'll take Vidalia losing one more and be all right.
You don't care who it's to?
Robert.
Why? These guys are Vidalia.
They play Pinewood, man. Right? I would love to see Pinewood beat Vidalia.
Okay.
They vandalized my truck. Them Vidalia kids vandalized my truck.
Hey, tell the people real quick about it. The people need to hear about it. Those people are probably 30 now. But
you know why I did it? You know why they did it? Because I had that Toombs County flag flying.
What this is?
Heights in his second year?
First year at
Toombs. Tell him, Height.
That story's good.
And so there's like this tradition of on Vidalia Toombs week, you fly a Toombs flag in your truck or you fly a Vidalia flag.
The kids do, yes.
Well, I was just trying. I was trying.
It's not really for teachers. It's mainly kids.
But you know how it is. You start so well.
You just get excited.
He's going rolling with the kids.
That's right.
You just get real excited. You know, it's great. It's a great rivalry. It's essentially Alabama and Auburn down there in lines and Vidalia. So yeah.
And I think about this is your first year.
Year there. And so I was trying to,
Yeah, but hold on. Think how we're 2 months into. Think how quick that blood got in you because we're 2 months into the school year.
Yeah, yep. And I get a navy blue bed sheet from my mom and daddy's house and paint emotion.
I can just imagine Height riding down the road with a freaking flag flying from his truck.
1992 Ford.
Stayed up all night rolling 97. Houses with the kids.
97 red Ford just whipping out.
Freaking Danger Ranger.
And it looks so good with that navy flag, red truck, navy flag. Anyway, so and my students loved it, and that was the point. I was just doing it for the Toombs County kids, just trying
about the kids.
Yeah, it was about the kids, trying to build a relationship with those kids. And anyway,
did you think that the kids were going to think it was cool, or did you think they were going to look at you like, why is this
Oh no, they loved it. I guarantee.
No, they didn't.
Did y'all live in Vidalia or did you live in Toombs?
At that time, I was still living in Lawrence County.
Oh, so you're driving back and forth.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, I'm headed out on a Friday, and maybe it's
game day. Okay,
maybe it might have been Thursday. But anyway, I get to a stoplight, and there's this dude gets out of his truck, and he's wearing a ski mask, like creeping towards my vehicle. And I'm like, oh man, I heard him talking about this. I didn't really think this was the thing.
Bloody Toombs.
Yeah. Like, so then
murder capital.
So then I was right beside the turn lane. Get in the turn lane, go into the hospital parking lot. And I'm like, dude, I'm not all about So I get in the back of my truck. I'm taking the flag down. Well, these cats had driven past the hospital. I thought, okay, it's over with. No, bud. Turn back around, come in the parking lot, start just chunking rocks at my truck. I mean, just ting, ting, ting off my truck. So then I'm blowed. I'm mad. So then I get in my truck, and what I do, I follow them. I try to get their license plate.
He's throwing rocks back at them.
He was throwing rocks. He rolled their houses that night.
If I was left-handed, maybe, but I couldn't do that on the driver's side. But.
Throwing eggs. So
I get their license number, call the Vidalia Police Department. They're like, well, we really can't do anything about that. It's just your word versus theirs. I was like, I'm a grown up right here, okay?
I'm a grown up with a bed sheet on the back of my truck riding through town. Yeah, but I'm a grown up. That's a fair point.
In hindsight, that's a fair point. But anyway, they were like, it's just your word versus theirs. I said, that's every accusation, every broken law,
I know how the law works.
Somebody made an accusation.
Somebody better get arrested.
And they seriously, I tried to file a police. They refused to file. They would not do anything.
A police report.
They wouldn't do anything.
He don't went to the sheriff's department
on the back of his truck, man.
Did he go to Papa Charles's?
Nah, that was in Lyons. He was in Vidalia. Which that was county.
I guarantee you, if I'd have been in Lyons, it'd have been taken care of.
Where's
the Crooked Vidalia Police Department.
It's in Lyons.
So that's named after your dad. I mean,
yeah.
Corruption.
I got it.
Where's the courthouse?
Deep state.
Lyons is county seat.
Ed.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's great. I did not know that.
Yep.
I would think because Vidalia is a bigger city.
Real quick before we move on, I can think back when I was in high school. Me and y'all know Jelly and Jern. It was Vidalia week our senior year, and Jelly had this old, like they had it at their house. Nobody drove. It was like an old minivan with sliding doors on both sides. And so we painted it up, with shoe polish. And back then, you probably used to come down to ride the strip a little bit in Vidalia. That was the thing to do. So
they did not like us Lawrence County boys coming around.
They didn't like nobody over there. So we get some eggs, and we're riding. And, that was the thing about everybody's kind of throwing eggs at each other. And me and Jelly are both dare role models at the school. Every time they do something, we're the dare. We get to go eat and things like that. So we're riding through town, and we're, every now and then we're hurling an egg at somebody. They're hurling them back, blah, blah, blah. Well, sure enough, we get pulled over, and Jernigan's driving, and me and Jelly are in the back seat, and so we've got like 5 cartons of eggs in there. So we just start like putting clothes and stuff on top of them. The guy comes to the window, we roll the window down. It's the county dare officer that is our like guy, and he's like, man, what y'all doing?
Setting a great example.
He's like, man, what y'all doing? He's like, we just riding the strip, just game week, blah blah blah. And he's like, all right. He said, we got a report that there was a white van throwing eggs, and we like, no, that ain't us. He said, all right.
And you lied about it.
Oh yeah.
Jeez, this is getting worse.
He said, all right. He said, well, as calm as he could. He said, all right, well, y'all do me a favor and y'all step out, and if we find any eggs in here, y'all going to jail. Dude, we started pulling eggs. We're like, we got a carton here. We started just handing him eggs. That's right. And then he got mad. He was like, we got enough. We got drug dealers doing this. We ain't got time to be fooling with y'all. Y'all head home. All right, yes sir. Went on home. So, but good times.
Everywhere it's the same as it was like at our homecoming week when people get upset about rolling houses. I don't mind. I get rolled every year.
I'd never heard of rolling houses until I came here.
Man, but there are some people that just get so upset about it. And I guess it's because they get, like me, they get rolled every year, so they get sick of it. But it don't bother me unless you're like, you start throwing eggs or doing something to destroy property. If you're going to destroy my property.
Well, I've seen your yard. It's dirty anyway, so you're probably not even.
It's not true. Again, that's just straight DB.
No, I made that up. I have seen your yard, and you do cut.
Immaculate.
Yeah, it's like Augusta National
it needs the grass cut. I got a big oak tree in the front yard. I can't get grass to grow up on it for some reason. If any of the listeners have any advice on how to get grass to grow up under that thing,
it won't.
It will not grow
no,
under that.
It's just not going to.
All right,
I think St. Augustine grass will grow under oak tree.
Before we take a commercial break and head into some college football talk, coming July the 20th, so that's a week from tomorrow, next Thursday, we are doing a Lawrence County preseason football coaches show right there at Brian's Subs. Our sponsor, Brad Meeks, has allowed us to go in there at Brian's. We've got a great list. We've got Johnson County, Dodge County, Trinity, Dublin, East Lawrence, and West Lawrence. We've got all the county schools coming. Make sure you're there. Bring your family. Come eat. Make it a big deal. We want people to show up and show out here just like they did at Toombs, and I know we can expect that.
Well, that's on Phil, really. That's on Phil.
That's on Phil for Blakely not being here. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Phil. Thanks for absolutely doing nothing.
Could have easily sent somebody.
He could have.
I mean, anybody.
He could have came himself, but
they don't need him.
Yeah, he's not that important.
All right, let's hear from our sponsors real quick. For all of your commercial and residential real estate, as well as property management needs, give Premier Properties of Dublin a call at 478-274-1606. Their customer service is unmatched, and I can personally guarantee that they will work with you to get you the deal that you want. Again, that's Premier Properties at 478-274-1606.
This is Brad Meeks, owner of Brian's Giant Subs. Thanks for listening to the Big Ugly Sports Podcast. Come see us today to grab your favorite sub, 1632 Veterans Boulevard in the Oaks Shopping Center, Dublin, Georgia.
Are you tired of overpaying for your cable? Do you feel like you're not getting your money's worth? I've got just the solution for you. J2 Streaming Services. With over 9,000 live channels and packages starting at $15 a month. Visit www.j2streaming.com. Also, Big Peach Car Wash coming. Still coming soon. We keep saying soon, but it's coming. I promise you. Right across from Walmart on Highway 80. Black Shear Beverage down there in the Cordele area. If you on the lake, make sure to go by and see them on Highway 280, Georgia 400. And Dexter Meat. Thank you to Dexter Meat. We are playing in the West Lawrence Raider football golf tournament on the 21st of July, and Matt and Dexter Meats has proudly agreed to sponsor the bus team as we go out there. So make sure anytime you need any kind of meat, anything cooked, they got vegetables, anything, sauces, anything you want, make sure to go right there by Dexter Meat and get you a little something.
Yeah, and if y'all buy or do anything with our sponsors, just mention us.
Yeah, tell them the bus team.
I like to see here, like from the sponsors. Yeah, so and so came and.
So all five of you that are listening to this, make sure wherever you go to Brian's, or you buy a house with Premier, or you go whatever, or you go to Dexter Meat, mention the bus team that we sent you. All right, Hike, you were talking a little earlier about little Georgia news coming out a little.
Yeah, it happened before we went 4th of July break, but the issue is the Atlanta Journal-Constitution had put out some articles. Some of them were accurate. Whenever they had, I'm
pretty sure the hit pieces were all by one writer, though.
Yeah,
it was the same writer.
So Georgia fans, I think, got upset originally when they did an article about the wreck and some of the stuff that came out after the wreck and whatever. But I think that was more of just reporting on the incident.
That's right.
But then after that, there was an article that was released saying that basically there was no control. Kirby had no control over his program, and they were sweeping everything under the rug. And
that's fair.
Anyway, so
is it nothing more?
There were a lot of
than any other program.
The article in
the country.
Loyal fan, longtime listener Mitch Edge texted me about it and asked me what I thought about it, and I told him we'll talk about it whenever we got back from the holiday break. But the guy wrote the article saying that Georgia players rally around. Anytime there's some type of sexual misconduct or something, Georgia and the program rallies around them. And they went on to tell a story about some underage kid went on a recruiting trip to Georgia, and he got charged with all this stuff. And they're like, and Georgia signed him anyway. And then Kirby just, he doesn't have control, and everything. It's just corruption there.
Like they're trying to get the Athens County, the Clark County Police Department to cover it up.
Yeah. And so anyway, turns out there wasn't much investigative journalism done in that article.
Because, like, half of it's not true.
Yeah, there was a bunch of things that were proven by text messages, court documents, and all the stuff. With no charges were filed. It turned out, false allegations, yeah.
The girl even come up and said that she was angry because the guy quit talking to her.
Yeah, and so, anyway, now the University of Georgia is demanding that there's a retraction with the AJC. And if you and Roger, even though you're not a Georgia fan, I'm sure you have kept up and you've heard. And we're in the text with Ed, R.I.P. Ed, but we're in the.
He knows everything about everything.
Yeah, and so you knew that there's a strained relationship between UGA and the AJC, and that I mean, what are your thoughts on it? And be serious, because I know you're going to try to gaslight a little bit here and say that it's all fair, but if we don't want to start talking about that, because FSU's got a lot of skeletons in the closet with that. So let's just be serious.
Is that right?
That is right. And see if we see. I mean, what do you think?
Way bigger national press.
Because we're over here. Some might say we're biased. But what do you think?
I think just like similar to all news media outlet, I think all of it's a bunch of fugazi, bullcrap,
fake for those that aren't Italian mobbed up like we are.
Yeah, that's right. So I mean, I think that they probably there's no telling this guy, whoever wrote the article. I haven't really done that much research in it because to be completely honest, I really don't care that much.
Right.
But there could have been like this guy could have had an issue with Georgia, or like there could be something like that. He feels a certain way against university, so he's writing that way. Like it's not stuff just reporting the news. It's just like I'm going to put my opinion. I'm going to put my spin on it. So
he wanted to be the first to say something about it, and then more people come out of the closet, and then there's going to be more stuff involved in it. It's exactly what he wanted. They not only want a retraction, they want a public apology from that writer. And I agree, especially for the player that's at Georgia right now, that they have just totally bashed.
Yep.
Because unless you go up and look that article up about what actually happened in that incident, you would think that Georgia did try to cover that.
They did not post. They didn't put articles out or anything about after they were called on it, and other people. I think it was a Georgia website, a Georgia fan website or something.
But I also I feel kind of indifferent about the whole thing because again, like first and foremost, I really don't care that much. But two, when the whole however, therefore. When the Jameis Winston stuff was going on, everybody in the national news was just absolutely hammering Florida State about stuff.
When you're a winner, they're going to do that. That
has literally nothing to do with any of that.
It does. If we're winning,
if
we're winning in the school the year we went to state, I got more emails and texts from teachers about my wrestlers that year, and I have good kids, but they were the worst kids in the school that year. And that's not true.
And
when you're winning,
I agree
people
with
try to pull you down, and that's exactly what happens.
Especially like UJ being that close to the AJC. Like they're the biggest school in college football in the state of Georgia. Georgia Tech is nothing. And so I think obviously they want to have
Georgia Southern War Eagle.
Nothing.
Do you remember saying that last night or Monday night?
Yeah.
As he's coming up, you said War Eagle, and then you said, "Is that what it is?"
That's Auburn, but
what they are, the Eagles.
Yeah, but they're not War Eagle. That's not there.
Well, I mean, I know that.
It was funny, Law. Quit being so.
I know it. But you making it sound like
he needs to get some rest.
I don't have to make it sound like that.
But anyway, circling back. Georgia has a target on their back because they're back-to-back national champions.
Hold on though. We have talked about this before. Georgia has also been one of the leading players getting arrested over a course of time.
I will say this: I looked on the ESPN app last night, literally at 11 o'clock before I went to bed, and I just was looking at the main headlines, and one of them was about Kirby, just his concern with speeding, Georgia's players speeding, and getting Pimba or whatever his last name, and he's even obviously with the guy at the wreck that killed those two, and then there's a couple like Jack Saint was going 90-something in the 50, and he said he's reached out. He's got the police department there, the campus police, state patrol, to people coming there talking to the kids.
I'm telling you, when a couple of my buddies, Nathan Miller, Baron Bray, a bunch of them went to Georgia. Is when we used to go up there,
me and Coach Garvin from Vidalia went to Georgia as well.
But I didn't never go hang out.
I know. I was just giving Coach Garvin a shout out. I just give Coach Garvin. Just Coach Garvin a shout out.
But what I'm trying to say is their friends that were actually in part of the program and all is the Clark County Sheriff's Department. Dude, they look out for those guys. Not look out like they're trying to protect them. If you're out in town screwing up and you're a Georgia football player, Clark County will arrest you in a heartbeat.
And I have often said one of the
That
reasons
happened
why
in Dallas to us.
one of the reasons why Georgia players are, and like you said, you didn't back it up with any stats. You don't have any. You just kind of threw that out there.
He just randomly said it because he's
but Georgia.
Because
Georgia players,
there was a time where Florida was number one and Georgia was number 2.
Georgia players don't get special treatment, and Kirby does run from everything I can tell, tries to run
everything that I can see. Now he does a great job in football. Now he might not have control over everything else, but football wins, and that's all I care about. Listen, I don't care about what happens. I don't care if you go out and kill somebody. You win a national title in Athens, we'll look out for you.
This mug went straight to killing people.
Listen,
we Miami and down there at Florida State, and they killing people.
He's sensitive.
That's horrible.
Killing people. So anyway,
these are
Kirby
kids. These are kids. Hey, but go ahead and bash Georgia kids some more. Hey, good job. Right.
So anyway, I think Georgia does hold their players to a standard where they're not going to just try to sweep things under the rug, and so they do get. They say, "Hey, you know what you did wrong? You're going to pay the punishment." I mean,
it is. He's looking for the.
Well, we got to move on.
The article that he just made up about.
We've rabbit trailed a good bit this morning.
We're a little short on time, and we got about 9 to 10 minutes left. And you know what time it is. It's been a long time coming. That sounds good.
Come on. 5:30 in the morning on the bus we ride. Give me your ears for Heights High Five. Just think about Heights Danger Ranger with that flag in the back.
I never drove a Danger Ranger.
Is that
stupid?
Is that the song we got the warning about?
No.
We're not worried about that. No, that one's.
All right. So in honor of the mullet that I'm growing,
which is absolutely phenomenal.
It is beautiful.
Thank you. It started out as a joke, but now I'm kind of liking it a little bit.
It was never a joke.
It was it's still currently a joke. But anyway,
I told AJ he needed to help you out with it.
What did that do? What did that coming off the back of your head right there?
Ike, you in the north side?
I told AJ he needed to give you some help with it and get you some curls.
AJ does have a good one.
AJ Mathis, his mullet is top. If he ever makes it to the pros, I'm gonna adjust my list.
My boy Jake Shepard, long time listener, also he's got a phenomenal mullet.
They ain't got nothing on this though. All
right, what we got? So we know you're number 1. Start with number 5.
No, so these are Major League Baseball mullets all time.
I know one on there for sure.
Oh, I hope I got it.
I know you have to.
All right, number 5.
Kenny Powers.
I know two on there.
Number 5, catcher. Used to play for the Dodgers, the Marlins, and the Mets. See if you can get this. Mike Piazza, Hall of Famer. Mike Piazza. Okay.
You said, why don't you say, see if you can get this, and then
I'm thinking catcher. I got the one catcher, and it was like
he played for the Dodgers and the Mets.
And the team that he played for the most, he says last.
Yeah, it's like see if you can get this.
I went in order of who he played for. Dodgers first, then Marlins, then Mets. That's what I did.
Ooh.
All right, so he's number 5, Mike Piazza.
Right. Number 4, closer. Played for the A's. Dennis Eckersley. Nice.
That boy law.
He's got a flow he's got the long flowing mullets, more straight. But anyway, number 3. Okay, number 3, heavy set fella. I'm trying to remember. I think he played first base for the Phillies. John Crook.
That was one that I was thinking of.
Okay, John Crook.
That was a good one.
All right, now here's what a little.
He had a thin mullet. It was thin.
No, he didn't.
UTVs.
This dude's so sensitive. You got to get more sleep.
That was good. I don't know what.
You got to get some more
Sometimes just
sleep.
being subtle with it is kind of where it's at. But all right, here we go. We got Hall of Fame pitcher right here. One of the most dominant pitchers of the late 90s.
Lefty?
No, righty. Played for the Expos and the Red Sox. And it makes me think of Coming to America. They had that Soul Glow stuff that dude was on the Jerry curl. Pedro Martinez.
Okay, yeah.
Pedro
I didn't know that was really a mullet, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, okay. I did my research on it. Yeah.
And, I mean, if anybody knows about mullets, it's him.
It's Mr. Mullet right here.
All right.
Okay, and number 1, another Hall of Fame pitcher.
Lefty?
Yes, lefty.
Big unit?
Big unit. Randy Johnson.
That was my 2. Good.
Randy Johnson.
That's a good list. All right.
Yeah.
That's one of your better lists.
Thank you. It don't take much.
In a close 6th.
If I ever just got my call up to the show, man, I'd been in there.
That and like singer. You know, I did hear, and I'm being 100% honest saying this, that there were 2 or 3 people that thought, like, dang, what is Morgan Wallen doing at freaking Hardware's Pizza?
And when we called, it's Hardware, no S on the end, but when we called him,
it's Hardware.
but when you called him from the back,
yeah,
everybody in there knew who you were talking about.
Right.
When you called for Morgan Wallen, when he was back running that gator, and it was time to move to the next thing.
yeah.
And you remember when I was singing all my songs on the way back home? I was just serenading all my Morgan Wallen songs on the way home.
Can we talk about, this is not really this isn't a rant, but we were talking about this.
Hold on, do we need to? Is it rant music or no?
No.
The people.
I'll do
a rant. I'll do a rant next week.
Next week.
I mean, you can play the music if you want, but I'm not ranting right now.
We'll save it.
Okay, yeah, don't play.
Give people something to look forward to.
But about the kids,
average people listen to about 15 minutes of our show, so they're not getting into this anyway. So
they heard the first 15 seconds, and it's like, I'm not listening.
This show sucks. I'm not listening.
Why is that dude always whining and complaining?
Mediocre.
But the kids in the outfield of the home run derby, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought it up.
And so I'm assuming y'all saw when Vladimir Guerrero Jr. or whatever pegged that kid.
Did you see? I didn't see it until they showed me.
Of course, it's his fault. Like,
I didn't see it either. But you know, but like I told him, it's always been a concern of mine that don't happen more because there's kids out there that can't catch.
Dude, this kid, I mean, it's a freaking line drive like 108 and beaks this kid.
Sack of potato.
In the head.
Sack of potato.
But
hi. But they died, huh?
He didn't.
No, he didn't.
We don't know. It could have.
The kid died.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
But
do you know it was a boy? It could have been a girl.
I'm not really sure.
They went down like a sack of potatoes, though.
What it reminded me of was if we were to do that around here, the way that you would be with dangerous lumber. Like I could see you killing somebody if you hit a line drive. I could see you absolutely decapitating somebody.
Hyatt has called for us to have a home run derby.
I've said it.
As soon as this dude got in the weight room, now he's trying to have a home run derby. It's crazy.
This idea happened. Chuck, don't do that.
Pre-weight room?
Yeah.
Is MT giving us?
He'd have to give us bats and balls.
I can guarantee you this,
and then we'll put all our kids out there.
I can guarantee. I will put $100 on it right now. You are the worst, least athletic person when it comes to hand-eye
we got shot.
You also thought that about Axe throwing away.
First of all, I never made any prediction.
You came out there and said, "This is not very difficult. I can throw an axe." He's like, "Listen, I've never had to throw an axe in my entire life, and I can get out there and I can chunk that thing." It's just like that.
I know you lying because he grew up throwing axes out there in the woods. Buddy Johnson.
We couldn't afford axes. We had to kill everything with a bare hand.
When we have this derby, you got him last?
Yes. Not even close.
No home runs? He gets one over.
I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't even hit the ball.
If we're playing on the softball field,
if we're on the softball field, I'm putting that thing over the pasture.
We're not playing on the baseball field because none of us would hit one.
No, we'd have to hit.
I put that thing on Springdale or Springhaven.
Springdale over there. That's a long way to Springdale.
Yeah, and that thing 12 miles.
I know one thing. We're going to have to do it really early in the morning or late at night. He got to cut them lights.
Yeah, night.
It was like 108 degrees yesterday when I got out of there in volleyball.
Nighttime be good. Yeah. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Right.
And then
give us your ranking order right now, 1 through 4. How we finish?
Hold on, you already know.
He's got to have his girls there
because we know who number one is.
Chuck's gonna win.
Chuck's gonna win.
Chuck's not winning.
Chuck's gonna win. Chuck has a really good hand-eye coordination.
He can, but he doesn't have the power. He doesn't have the power that you have.
I will say, well, not that he has. It's a short field though, so power might not be. Yeah.
Or
softball. And I think maybe Mitch is a wild card because his back could go out at any moment.
That's true.
That's true.
I really feel like because you are younger than me that you didn't realize I actually played baseball and I was pretty good.
Nobody cares.
Listen, we have heard you.
We've heard all your hero stories.
We've heard it all.
Well, I mean, you've not because I don't really talk about it.
You talk about yourself more than most.
Never talk about me playing baseball.
You're talking about yourself right now. You're talking about yourself right now.
I can count at least 2 hands.
Listen, I ain't trying to say nothing. I have no idea right here. I have no idea.
I'm saying that I would wholeheartedly believe I would beat Chuck. And,
I think 1 through 3.
So I would say 1 here. I'll give you the nod at 2 because you're sensitive about it.
Very.
And 3.
Give me last.
Hey, back me in the corner. That's fine. Put me.
I like it.
No.
Yeah, you know what? I probably won't hit none out.
And I would say me third. I would say me third. I've never been.
But would you say on any given day 1 through 3 is open, but 4 is locked? Like anybody could get.
Yeah, I think maybe 1 and 2 could be neck and neck. I think I'm a solid third, and thank gosh for him being dragging up.
I can tell what's going to happen. I'm going to hit Chuck, and put that thing in that freaking.
Honestly, had the pairings been different in the extra, who would have been in the final game?
Probably me and you.
Definitely.
But
what
if the pairings would have been differently? I would have got in. Because you snuck by height the first round.
Is that right?
The first round.
That is not true.
It was
19.
It was a barn burn. It was a barn burn.
Neither one of y'all could get the axe to even stick in the. You don't get a point for just hitting the board.
No, I didn't. I had 9.
All right, bring us home, Height. It's time. Hey, July. Well, we'll talk about next week. July 20th.
Yes, July 20th. All right, be sure to give us a follow on Facebook and Instagram. And Raji, what else?
Oh yeah, give us a 5-star review in the description. Oh yeah,
Law, you got any closing thoughts?
Hardware.
Those dumb senses this morning. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube if you haven't already. Be looking for the content coming. Dropping at lunchtime today is our preseason show for Monday night, so make sure you catch that. And we make plans to be at Brian's on July the 20th. Wherever you're at, whatever you're doing,
get up on that bus. Oh yeah, it's that hardware. 5-star reviews. It might not be F on it, but I'm putting F on the hardware. Oh yeah, we get them wings and the pizza and the pizza rolls. Oh yeah, get up on that sweet pizza. Oh yeah, it's a move. Oh God, get on down that nose, God. Look at that Holy Ghost over there. Oh yeah. Huh?